Hi. I'm just going to hang on a second and give it a minute to let people know that I'm here. And I also just want to say in advance that my internet is absolutely pants tonight. So if for whatever reason the reception goes a bit AWOL. Oh, there's somebody. Okay. If the reception goes a bit AWOL, then, and I have to end it, then I will. I'll do the video and then I'll add it on later. I'll just pre-record it. So hopefully it will stay okay. So, I know a lot of people have also messaged me and said that they would like the recording, but I'm doing it in here, so it should be available here later. So if you watch this and you have any friends or anybody that you think would benefit from watching, then please do feel free just to share it with whoever you like. So for those of you that do know me, you may know me from Parent Plus site that myself and Jackie run, or you will have come across me in some other kind of capacity. But this is the page where I am doing, it's Sari Taylor Coaching. And it's really about, it's not focusing on parents as Parent Plus does. It's really about you as an individual getting change and getting shifts. Now, I'm a trained psychotherapist, I do training, and also I'm a coach, hypnotherapist, and also use NLP. And I think it's also important to say that personally, my own personal experience, again, for those of you that know me, I'm certainly not afraid, or I don't hide the fact. Hi, hon. Hi, Sharon. I don't hide the fact that I am somebody who has suffered with very acute episodes of anxiety, to the point where it's been completely life-changing, to the point where I wouldn't leave the house, or, you know, it was horrific. And I've had episodes since then, since the initial time. Each time they got better, easier, more manageable. But it's been a long, hard slog for me from the beginning of my journey, from the first time I experienced severe crippling anxiety through to who I am now. I've had years of therapy, tried lots of different types of things, and I suppose where I've come to now in my kind of career, in my life, is maybe it's because I'm getting close to 40. Next year I'm going to be 40. But actually, I don't want to mess around anymore. I don't want to keep going around in the same circles and cycles. And luckily, I'm not doing. But there is still the potential. And I notice a lot of people do it. And one of the things that I know now, as a trained therapist, being able to use hypnotherapy, NLP coaching, is that this does not need to be difficult. This does not need to be medium, long term. We can get change really quickly. Now, this might sound a bit harsh, but you're not going to get change really quickly if you piss about, if you do it half-heartedly. So people may come for a coaching session, or people may come and say, yeah, I want change. So for example, since I've been talking a bit about hypnotherapy, okay, one of the biggest things people think about with hypnotherapy is phobias, fears, things like that. So straight away, anybody that smokes will say, oh, can you stop me smoking? And actually, the first question that I would ask is, do you really want to stop smoking? People will say yes, but they hesitate. And they wait, and they go, yeah, of course I do. Now, the fact that there's a hesitation there tells me that you're not 100% sure. And that's what I mean by needing to fully commit. You know, there's no magical, you know, I find hypnotherapy actually pretty magical. It's pretty amazing. However, it's not magic. And it needs to come from within us. Our mind's only going to take us where we allow it to go. So really it does come from us. And, you know, as I was saying, I've had lots of different types of therapy myself. And I know that it can be such a long, ongoing, arduous journey for a lot of people. But I'm really now realising through all my experience and my own personal journey that it really does not have to be. We so massively overcomplicate things. All the time we overcomplicate things. That then just feeds into our beliefs that, oh, this is hard and this isn't going to change, and well, I've tried but it doesn't work out. It's actually, no, it's bullshit. It can happen, but we have to put everything into it, and we have to try. You know, we can't, it doesn't just come like that. It's not just, okay, come, you know, fix me and let me listen to this. You know, I can give you an insight, and this is what I want to do now, is I want to go ahead and give you a little bit of an insight into what I want you to start thinking about. Now, I can only give you that. I can't fix things for you. I can't, say, well, actually, yeah, that's wonderful. That's going to go and change everything for you. You've got to do it yourself, and it's really important. And, sometimes it's about accepting that the time just is not right. So, again, one of the things I've talked to lots of people about, we've got to be in practical terms as well. Okay, so say somebody's on antidepressants for anxiety and they want to come off them. And it's 2 weeks before Christmas, and it's a time where it's stressful and it's darker nights, so we're not getting as much light, we're definitely not getting as much serotonin just naturally. It's like, why would you even consider doing that? Just wait 2 months or 3 months until we get more sunlight and the stress is over, and then do it. So I think we set ourselves up a lot to fail, and I know I absolutely have over the years. 10 steps forward, yeah, feeling great, really positive change, doing so well, and then it's like, oh my god, where did that come from? Like a bolt out of the blue. And it's because I've taken my foot off the gas, I've become complacent, and I've not taken care of myself. So that's one thing I want to say. So the good thing is, it doesn't need to take forever. Now, if you're stuck in some aspects of your life, if you feel like you're in a rut with something in your life, then whatever that is, if for you it's drinking alcohol, smoking, you feel like you're overweight, or you're in a job that you don't like, or you're going around in circles in your relationship, whatever it is, the solution is the same for every single one of you. Whatever your issue is, whatever your problem is, it's the same solution for every single one of us. And that is that you need to get out of your own way. Now, we talk a lot about our environment. We talk a lot about what's happening to us, how people are impacting on us. Well, if I was just in a better job, I wouldn't feel like this. If my partner would just stop doing that, I wouldn't feel like this. If I had the money to pay for a nutritionalist to make my meals every day, and I had all the time in the world to go to the gym, I wouldn't be overweight. I'm sorry. But actually, it's not about your environment. Yes, that does make an impact. But the biggest thing, the main thing that is stopping you and keeping you stuck is you. So you need to get out of your own way. Okay. So recently, again, any of you that are on this page or even on Parent Plus will know that myself and Jackie went and did some training with Ali Campbell recently, who is an amazing hypnotherapist who works with royalty, celebrities all over the place. He's really, really, people pay a fortune to see him, and they pay a fortune because he's really good and it works. And the one thing that kept being repeated time and time again throughout that training, which I struggled with, historically, is that you're literally only one thought away from being well. You're only one thought away from the change, because what is getting in our way and stopping us from being the real, authentic, true us, seeing the us that we want to kind of be every day, is just thoughts. It's just us getting in our way. We're not born anxious. We're not born overweight. We are not born smoking. We are, we're not born any of these things. So these are learned behaviours. So in a way, if they're learned behaviours, why can't we just stop doing them? Sounds really simple, doesn't it? Actually, it's not that easy, and this is where all the external stuff comes in. Well, it's not that easy because of this, because of that. And actually, no. If we want to make a change and not get in our own way, we can do that. We have that capacity because we've been like that before. We've been like that previously. The other thing that I want to say is sometimes we get frustrated with ourselves when we're getting in our own way. Oh, why do I do that? And it really pisses me off when I get like that, and I'm just getting a rut and da-da-da-da. All that's doing is feeding all that negativity and all those negative thoughts that's telling you you're in your own way, and you're continuing to get more in your own way by beating yourself up about it. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about it in a slightly different way, because even though we do lots of things in our lives, all of us, I know I definitely do, and because you're watching this, you probably do too, we sabotage ourselves. And so, for example, for me, my past experience of anxiety tells me that it's a form of sabotage. It stops me living my life how I want to live it. It has made me have to make different choices in my life in the past that maybe I wouldn't have made at that time. Lots of different things, and it gets in the way. But subconsciously, at the back of my mind, there is a really, really valuable purpose for me being anxious at those times. It's a positive way of me getting my needs met. So you might say, why on earth could you see being anxious and being in a panic, which feels horrendous? How can that even be positive? But what our subconscious mind does is it comes up with ways, particularly through our learned behaviour, it comes up with ways of saying, oh, well, actually, do you know what? That will get me where I need to be. And it doesn't matter that it's not the best way or it's not the healthiest way. It's just a way. So in a way, a lot of these things that we do to sabotage ourselves are actually really clever ways of coping. So we shouldn't be bad-mouthing them. We should be seeing them for what they are, which is they have a positive intention. So, for example, for me, it'd be different for everyone else, anxiety, when it kicks in on a big level where it's really impactful on a day-to-day, it's my body's way of going, you better just stop. What are you doing? You've not stopped to check or consider if you're taking care of yourself for however long. Like, what are you doing? So there is a positive intention behind it, but it's crap. It's not nice. And there's other ways that can do it. But it's just about how we think about it. So, I'm just looking down because I want to make sure I'm covering everything with you. So another example, just to give you another example about positive intention. Like, you might laugh at this, but if we're overweight, which some people will yo-yo with their weight all their life. I go up and down. I can go from, I can gain and lose 2 stone quite easily in a really short space of time, which is not great. It's not probably why I no longer have a gallbladder, but it's not a great way to be. But there's a positive intention for everything. So quite often with weight loss, for example, it's because there's some positive intention behind you continuously struggling, continuously needing to try hard. And actually, what would happen if you imagined yourself as this person who wasn't overweight, who was the exact weight that you wanted to be? It's like, how do you then feel about that? Oh yeah, it'd be great. But actually, there might be some fear around that. But then what if you then don't end up living the happy life that you imagine it might be, even when you're thin? Then what? Then what do you put it down to? If you can't put it down to the weight, then what do you put it down to? You probably feel quite exposed and quite vulnerable. So the stuff that we do, there's a positive intention, okay? And even though it sounds daft, it serves us. But actually it's because part of the time we've learnt this behaviour from quite a young age, and we've kind of learnt ways of being, and we're just not realising, and we're just not triggering in our brains that actually we could do this in a different way. We don't need to keep struggling on. And then this positive intention, whether even if it's in an unhealthy way, becomes part of your identity and who you are. So it's really important for you to try and work out what that is for you. What is the positive intention behind that, what you see as quite a negative behaviour? Because there will be one. And it'll be quite important to you somewhere on some level. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to just mention is we can sometimes be really incongruent and contradict ourselves till the cows come home. And it's usually when we're stuck and we're in a place where we're feeling stuck, whether we're anxious, whether we're feeling overweight, whether we're drinking too much, smoking, whatever it is, we feel stuck and we know we want to make a change and we feel like we have to make a change, but we feel stuck and we feel lost. It's probably because we're in contradiction with ourselves and things are just not congruent. So what I mean by this is, if you think about what you value in your life and what you value, and also then thinking about what your beliefs are. So if I give you, again, I'll just give you a general example. So let's take money, for example. If I said to somebody, what do you value in your life? Oh, well, I value money. What do you mean you value money? Why do you value money? Well, it's financial security. When I feel financially secure, I feel safer, I feel like I can provide for my family. So it's really important for me. I value, not necessarily money as such, but I value financial security. Okay, that's great. That's one of your values. There's many people's values because we need money to live. And then I could say to you, well, what actually are your beliefs about money? Think, oh, right, okay. And a lot of these beliefs will come from childhood and then from things we continue to think about as we get older. And you might have little phrases or things that crop up for you about money. You know, I'm trying to think of some of the ones I might have heard is, you know, only the rich get richer. You know, you have to, you know, people that have loads of money, it's because they're tight and they don't spend any money. So, you know, well, I don't want to be tight. Or people like me just don't earn loads of money. I work my arse off, but I'll never earn that much money. It just doesn't happen to people like me. So in that example, if you think about the contradiction there, is that one of the things that person really values, their beliefs are completely contradicting and going against them achieving that value, because they don't believe that that's going to be the case, that they're ever going to be comfortable in that situation. And this is where the contradiction happens. So, for example, we're saying about weight loss, what do you value? My health. Everybody says their health. You know, somebody could be overweight and sit in front of me and say, I value my health. Oh, okay. Well, what are your beliefs about your health? Well, that I'm overweight, don't eat the right things, I don't exercise enough. So again, huge contradiction and incongruence between what you value and what you believe. So you're going to be stuck. Like, how do you move from there? So, you know, you've got your values, they're ingrained in you. They may change and shift depending on what happens in your life. But one thing that is really, really quite straightforward to get rid of and change is your thoughts. You know, all of our thoughts, pretty much every thought we ever have is just a story. It's not a fact. It's just something that we say and that we create in our heads. And, you know, it sounds awful to say, but actually a lot of the time with the thoughts in our head, we're just making shit up. We're just literally making shit up all the time. This is so me, weight loss and the money. You know, we are making shit up constantly. And we're making shit up because of that positive intention that I mentioned earlier. So it's survival. But the fact that we're making shit up then means that we're contradicting and contrasting what we believe and what's important to us and not what we believe, what's important to us and what we value. So no wonder we're stuck. We're like, oh my God, what do I do now? Because, well, this is what I value and this is what I want. But actually, I believe all of these things and I'm telling myself all of these stories and I'm getting in my own way constantly. You know, I don't know if my mum's watching this, but she'll kill me for saying this. She always starts a diet on a Monday. I make loads of shit up. Yes, me too. Me too. But the difference now, when I make shit up, I laugh at myself and I go, oh, I'm making shit up again. Jackie's great for that. She's like the best friend to have around for that, because she'll say to me, you making shit up? You making shit up again. That's what I loved about Ali Campbell's coaching. I don't know how many times he told me on that coaching I was just making shit up. Which is like, yeah, making a realisation, I'm making up a heck of a lot of shit here. You know, even on a serious note, we bring all of our history and all of our experiences into the present. Of course we're going to do that. That's what everybody does. But what was true then, last week, last month, is not true now for us. It changes. It's not, you know, we're just making stuff up. So part of the key is just acknowledging that oh, I'm making shit up again. Like, I don't need to make shit up. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. About being mindful. This is what I love, actually, about hypnotherapy, because it really helps you go into kind of a deep state of relaxation. So it's, you know, it's slowing down all that chatter and all that crap. And it's about resetting to where you were before you started making all this shit up, basically. All this learned behaviour. It's like resetting. So what else did I want to say to you? If anyone's got any questions, do feel free to just ask. Let me just see what time it is. Yeah, I've got another 5 minutes or so. So do feel free to ask. But so really just to kind of recap. Just notice when you're making shit up. Stop making shit up, basically. You know, thoughts, are they stories or are they facts? They're stories. You know, you can predict what might happen in the future and you might be pretty good at it and you might get it right a lot, but you're still making it up because it hasn't happened. Even if it's happened in the past, it doesn't mean... A prime example, just put my daughter to bed. She woke up last night, she had a nightmare. So because she's tired now, she goes to bed and she's saying, oh, I had a nightmare last night. What if I have a nightmare again tonight? So I just said, that was last night. Yeah, but what? Yeah, but that was last night. Yeah, but what if it happens again? Well, if it happens again, it happens again, but we don't know that it is. But yeah, but it did last night. Yeah, but that was last night. And that's a prime example of the stuff that we just make up and we based on yesterday. I hear it a lot with sleeping again, and, you know, insomnia, for example. Getting into that cycle of, well, I didn't sleep last night, so I probably won't sleep again tonight, or I hope desperately that I sleep tonight. You know, we're telling ourselves stories. I need a reset button. You need to go and have hypnotherapy then, Jessica. That's a really good reset button. So think about your own values and your own beliefs and what your thoughts are about certain things. So whatever it is you want to change, just ask yourself, what do I value in that? And then ask yourself, but what are my beliefs about that? And just see if there's any contradictions. There probably are. If you're stuck, there probably are contradictions. So there's that. So there's thinking about your own values and beliefs, thinking about what's stories, what's facts. Just call yourself out on the bullshit. Stop making shit up. Stop coming up with excuses. They're not going to get you anywhere. And that doesn't mean that you can't take your foot off the gas and slow down. So say, for example, you are... I don't know, just saying to yourself, oh, I'm going to go on a diet and I'm going to start tomorrow. And then you wake up that day and you think, I don't want to do it. I just need my cup of tea and my Freddo for breakfast, which is like sometimes what I'll do. I just need that. Right, rather than going, yeah, but you should be doing this. Yeah, but I don't want to. And having this big battle, just go in, I'm just going to do it tomorrow because right at this moment, I'm just not on it. And it's okay if you're not always on it. But don't bullshit yourself. Don't come up with excuses as to why. Just accept that that's what it is in that moment. You don't have to make up a big story for it. Ask yourself, why are you standing in your own way? Why are you? There's a reason. And there might be really good reason for it. So when I was saying before about the person, do you want to stop smoking? Yeah, of course I do. What's that pause about? If you want that change, do you really want it? Do you want it now? Do you want it tomorrow? Yeah, if there's any hesitation, what is that about? Why is that? What is it that you're standing in? And it might be a protective factor, so don't kind of judge yourself for getting in your own way. We get in our own way often for really good reason. And that's it, yeah. Get out of your own way, basically. So I hope that was helpful. I'll start doing more videos on here. And still on the Parent Plus for any of you. If any of you have got children and you're not on our Parent Plus, come on over on there. We've got loads of stuff on there, courses and things like that. And then this is just obviously for my private practice. Jackie's also going to be doing videos on her coaching page, so I will share with you and let you know when she's going to be doing that very soon as well. And that's about it really. So unless anybody's got any questions, let me just check what these comments are. Hey, so I've got a hello, kiss. I like a kiss. This is so me, the weight loss and the money. Make loads of shit up. Me too. Oh, right, so Jessica was saying as well, she makes lots of shit up. I need a reset button. Yeah, we do. But the thing is, we do all have the capacity to just reset. But we just get in our own way because we're just making shit up that we can't reset. We can. Thank you, makes sense. No problem at all. Thanks for the feedback. So if anyone's got any questions, I know I'm obviously not in everybody's area, but if anybody is thinking about having any type of therapy or any, if they've got an issue and they're thinking, hypno might be quite good for me, or do I need this or do I need that? It doesn't matter if I'm not in your area. Just ask me. I'll help happily, help kind of tell you what the difference is, what they all are. Thanks, Sharon. Just ask me questions. It's not a problem. That's what I'm here for. And I am passionate about the fact that I have literally had so many years of therapy. I have had hundreds, if not thousands, of client hours myself in various different disciplines. And, one size does not fit all. But there are certain therapies that are good for certain things. And in my whole journey, I think a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about with you now is kind of NLP stuff really, and resetting is hypnotherapy. And even though that's one of the newer things that I've used, I'm so, hyped up about it because it's just fast and it's just quick, and just don't need to be waiting months and years to feel better. We just don't. So yeah, so that's it. So if you've got any questions, give us a shout even after this, or anybody who watches it later, and hopefully I'll check in with you guys again very soon. Take care.